Hi there. Stay tuned till the end of the episode for a little piece of bonus content we put together just for you. A little sneak peek, if you will. I'm not going to give anything away, though, especially about it being a prequel shit. I did it again. Can we record that? We'll just fix it in post.
Welcome to the Village Idiots podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Nathan. With me this evening I have Emily.
Hello.
Jordan.
Hey.
Justin.
Hey, yo.
And Nicole.
Sup?
At the end of every episode, I name a village idiot, and that person has to do the recap on next week's episode. Last week's village idiot was Scar, played by Nicole, for lighting a fire to alert lizard folk back to the camp that they were in. And they all came back and they were very hostile and chased them away.
Yeah.
So, Nicole, what happened last week?
So, the week before, at the very end, we had awakened Amoferic, and he told us that there was a prophecy that we needed to go rescue the twins because the other one had fallen, the one that we saw in the shade pocket. So then he started telling us, we started asking him questions, and he was like, told us the prophecy about the wicked one and all this other stuff that I can't remember, something about a dreamer and a field of blood or sacrifice altar, I don't know. And so we were heading back to the ship, and we stopped in that second village that we went to where we fought the lizard shaman guy and put the attunement stones that we had in the twins. And now they're following me around, which is dope. Then we went back to the ship, and it was all done and pretty and had parts that were made of bone. And Drew said goodbye to her, her people, her posse. Not posse, she has a crew. Her crew. And said that she would be back for her bone throne. And then we all got on the boat and sailed away. Said bye to the Bulwark Isles.
Yes, that is correct. You set sail into the sunset. The Bulwark Isles are now behind you. If you recall, you all had a realization that one of the Amos had fallen, one of the 4 Amos, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Amo Gelt.
Yeah, I'm a guilt.
I don't know if you all remember this or not, but I will remind you now that Amo Ferric said that you all would probably need to find the writings of Halartha Shadeseeker.
Oh yeah, that's why we gotta go to the archives where the lorekeeper place is.
Yes. Halartha Shadeseeker is the Augur of the Incarnate, as she was called. You found her tomb, and she had the purple keystone to open the way to Amoferic's vault. So, you all are setting sail for where? It's changed so many times now. Where would you all like to go?
Are we going to go to the archives?
Are we going straight there? Is that the question, right?
Fira, the captain of the Mayfly, was planning on going to the Mithril Peninsula. You all were trying to get to the harbor coast, and now you are finding that you need to get the writings of the Augur, so that you might find out some more information. So you've got a few places where you could decide to go, but it is ultimately up to you. At this point, you've been traveling for, you're just getting out of the shallows of the Bulwark Isles, and you're out on open sea, and Fira looks to all of you, and she's asking, where are we going? Huh? Any ideas?
Well,
Oh, it's helpful.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah, I pulled up the map for anyone listening.
the archives are landlocked.
The archives are landlocked. They are surrounded by Lux.
to get to the archives, we'd have to go through Lux.
What's that little part that connects where it says Mithril Peninsula toward that.
That's an isthmus.
Mm-hmm. I forgot that
Thank
word.
you for the lesson.
You're welcome. I look up a lot of different geological feature terms when I'm making my maps, and I very, very much intend to make them at least sound good.
She's got to go to the Mithril Peninsula, so I mean, we just get dropped off at the Mithril Peninsula and make our way into the archives through that isthmus? Or
I'm zooming in on the map that Justin has up.
Map available on the website at villageidiotspodcast.com.
Lux, it appears to be bordered by 4 different districts or boroughs.
Yeah, I don't really see a way to get in without going through Lux.
Which, I mean, that's not that big of a problem, is it?
Okay, well, that's why I'm zooming in on the map. So you all are in the Bulwark Isles, which is in the southeastern part of the continent of Ilari. You are very close to Ilar's birth. In order to get up to the archives, there is only one way up, by foot. So you can come in, there's a southern entrance to the archives from the southern tip of Lux, and you go through these various gates and plateaus, and you eventually find yourself in the archives themselves. The archives are a joint place of study, and also you can think of it as like if you've ever been to Washington, D.C., the National Mall. So there are tons of museums and places for the public to go and, learn about stuff from the past and future and, you know what? It's magic, maybe future. It's a smaller section. Past, present, and future, and there's just a lot of information held there. The study portion of the archives is on the western side of the borough itself. So the central and the eastern bits of the archives are free it's free for the public, and it's also open to the public as well. There are also zoos and aquariums and all that kind of stuff too.
So since she's going to the Mithril Peninsula, wouldn't she just be able to drop us off at that little part? Then we could go on foot. I mean, how's Sokoba doing? And why can't I remember his name? Ord.
God, I keep forgetting they're with us.
Yes, I'm glad that you asked because I was going to give you an update on them as well. Sokoba is doing better. She is shaky on her feet, but she is able to stand now. Ord, his left arm is still in that sling from that magical damage that he took from Kelvin when he was saving you all. So he is still incapacitated, or he's not incapacitated, but he's at a disadvantage, we'll say. And they are with you on the boat, so they'll talk to you a little later on. But they are doing, Sokoba herself is doing better, and Ord is fine. So to answer your question, there are ways to there are, docks that you could land in Lux and make your way up to the archives, most notably probably on the eastern shore, because that is the closest entrance up to the path up into the archives itself. That's hugs the northeastern side of the borough.
And what's the trip like? Like, how long does it take?
It takes the better part of a day. By cart, it would take a few days by foot.
I mean, we've got some gems and stuff that we could probably hawk in the port for trade for a cart, or...
People in Lux would probably pay a pretty penny for all that stuff.
I also noticed that to the northwest corner of Lux, there's a connection from the harbor coast to Lux.
What is that?
Yeah, what is that structure?
Right here, this channel.
Mm-hmm.
So the harbor coast actually, we're going to get political, folks. The harbor coast is the merchants' borough, and so they very desperately wanted to control portions of... They want to basically control all the waterways that they can. And so through the centuries of going back and forth with Lux for territory on the northern shore, the harbor coast actually came in possession of the Luxon Canal, which connects the Mirror Sea with Lake Lux. here on the map, if you look very closely, Lake Lux is the biggest lake in all of Alari. And there is only one way to get over the canal, and that's a big bridge. The Harbor Coast owns all of that, much to the dismay of the Luxan populace.
Interesting.
It's high taxes to get from Eastern Lux to Western Lux, especially by that route. If you don't want to take the circuitous route either around Lake Lux or by boat across the lake itself.
Gotcha.
Logistically, is there any way on that isthmus? Is there any way through it, or do you have to go around the Mithril Peninsula?
You have to go around if you're going by boat. If you wanted to go by foot, you could make dock on the isthmus and then go by foot on the other way and charter another boat on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like our best bet is to ask Fear to drop us off on that eastern side and try to hawk a gem and grab a cart, and it'll take us like a day.
I agree with that. I'm going to say that I'm on board with that plan.
Well, I'm on board with that plan as well, and we can figure it out once we make dock.
That works.
Yeah, it's real convenient that entrance into the archives is right there, so that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
So then we say that to Fira. We're like,
okay.
Would you mind dropping us off on the east coast of Lux? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I can drop you all off and we can take our cargo and part ways. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't miss these things. And she gestures at the shield colossi. They freak me out. They stare at her deadpan.
You get used to them after a while.
So the plan is to get to the eastern shore of Lux and then head on up to the archives. So you relay that plan to Fira. She sets the course, and everyone's starting moving around the ship. The bone mayfly, the whatever you all want to rename the ship.
The bone fly.
Yeah, that sounds good. Fira renames it the Bonefly. You can see her talking to Jeff, the dwarf, about getting it repainted once they dock in the Mithril Peninsula. He knows a guy, apparently. They'll do it on the cheap. So, at that point, Ord comes up to you, and he's got a small bundle in his hands. Quite the adventure on that island, huh?
You have no idea, man. And then I kind of like gesture to the rest of these guys, to Drew and Aggamir and Saph, and I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but right after we destroyed Joss the dragon and we got protected after that explosion, I had the craziest dream. It wasn't really a dream, it was like a memory. It was the day that I became a copper mantle, and why can't I remember his name?
Perdor Ferinor.
That's it. I knew he had a weird name. And it was Perdor. Perdor was my golden mantle in my district, and he was there and put my mantle on me, and he was congratulating me and shaking my hand, and then I saw him talking to some shadowy figure, and he disappeared through a door, so I followed him through the door, and as soon as I opened the door, I saw him laying dead on the floor the night that he was discovered. And then I woke up and I was with you guys and I heard Drew scream, and it was really crazy. We didn't really have time to talk about it because, we were still trying to find things, and then we found Amorpheric, and that whole thing was crazy. So
yeah, it was pretty crazy. And Aggamir's kind of messing with the dragon scales in his bag. It's like, he looks up and he's like, glances over at Fira. I'm like, I had a memory. I was just back at the academy with Fira. Late for a test. I haven't thought about those days in years.
I hear them start talking about the memories they had, and I start tearing up. I say, I had a memory of my grandfather. We need to find him. I can't deal with this anymore. I have dreams about him getting tortured, and I have nightmares about him getting tortured in real life and in game.
Oh no.
So
This is in character and out of character at the same time.
Yes. So I start crying and I sit down with my legs crossed.
I'm gonna like pat her on the head and be like, "It's okay." What about you, Drew? I mean, we all heard you scream. Like, or was that? Did you experience the same thing as us?
Drew looks around and she's like, I don't exactly remember what I saw or what exactly happened. I think my mom's in trouble. And I don't know how to explain why, but I think I need to know where she is.
Do you know how to contact her?
Nope.
When's the last time you've seen your mom?
About 10 years ago, but for elves, that's not really weird. We live a long time.
Saph kind of raises her eyebrow. 10 years ago?
10 years. 10 years ago, I decided to stay behind in Ilar's birth when I found the catacombs, and she went on, and I have not seen her since. She usually comes back about every decade or so, so she's overdue. But I wasn't worried until now.
Did something happen to her in your memory?
I have reason to believe the shepherd has her, and I don't know why.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh. Well, we'll start trying to find out what we can.
This is some pretty heavy stuff. It's Ord.
Oh, I forgot we were talking to him.
I was just gonna give you these, and he hands you each a conch shell. It's about 3 inches. It's not like a full size conch shell. It's small enough that it could fit in a satchel or a pocket.
Is it a magical conch shell?
I mean, I had to pick up a few tricks being part of Tasvig's honor guard, so I'm able to craft these out of any sort of mundane object. I'm sure you're familiar with them as he hands them to you. They're like the sending stone that Tasvig gave you.
Whoa.
Oh.
So you can use it once a day, and you can send a message, and whoever you send a message to can reply to you, and each one of them has that power. So,
Like if we get separated, we can communicate with each other.
yeah, that's about it. So they're attuned to each other, and I have one as well. So you can speak to each other however you'd like.
Very cool.
I kind of want to ask Sakoba, now that I was thinking about that dream, that memory that I had, I kind of want to ask, like, hey, Sakoba, what do you remember about when Parador was found dead?
Well, it had been a long night for me. I was out on patrol with some of the other senior copper mantles from my district, and I got the message that Perdor had been found dead. And so I got to the scene as soon as I could. I mean, it took me a few days, but I wasn't really able to glean much information more than what the coppers of his district had already found.
You were a golden mantle at this point, right?
Yeah. I've been a golden mantle under Tasvig for the last... well, I guess she starts to tear up a little bit when she starts thinking of Tasvig again.
I walk up to her and I kind of put my hand on her shoulder, on her arm, and I do the cute hold your hand kind of comforting thing.
She holds your hand back and squeezes your hand a little bit because she saw you crying too.
Oh.
I feel like because our original task was to go undercover and see if we could find out if Sakoba or Kelvin had anything to do with it. Obviously, we know Kelvin's the bad guy. So I feel like we figured that he must have been the one to kill Parador. Or maybe he got someone else to do it or something. But,
I mean, either way, he's for sure involved.
Yeah, when I had that dream memory thing, I felt like it was super significant that I needed to, figure out how he died. Exactly what happened.
Well, I feel like the archives have to have answers to some of these questions.
How are we gonna, we're on the run, guys. Kelvin's probably making a big stink and probably throwing our names all around, so we might, and then we know that some of the lore keepers can't be trusted after what we went through in Fellows. So, how do you guys think we should go about this?
Well, there's several things that stick out to me. Kelvin knew my grandfather. He brought him up several times. And the expedition that my grandfather went on was organized by a lore keeper. I'm racking my brain trying to think of his name.
Yeah, Karen Dene.
Karen Dene, yeah, that's correct.
I was just listening to the prequel, that's why I know that.
Shh. Okay.
But I didn't know you knew that.
Dorena Ravenridge had told me.
Oh, okay.
And I wrote her a letter when we got to Fellows. I don't know if she ever received it. But in it, I said that something was untrustworthy about Kelvin. So now she knows something having to do with him.
Yes.
I'm wondering how we want to go about, we're gonna have to be super undercover, right? We're gonna have to be
pretty undercover. We're fugitives and fellows. We don't know what kind of reach Kelvin has yet. I mean, we shouldn't underestimate him, clearly.
Yeah, we've done that once. Never again.
Kelvin has been named the interim consul of Fellows as well.
Which means that his reach is even worse than being a golden mantle.
Yeah. A few episodes ago, I slipped up and said that he was promoted to golden mantle. He was already a golden mantle. He has been promoted to interim consul. So he sits on the Chamber of 12 right now.
Yeah, which means we got to be hella careful. And then that lore keeper guy from the Shade Pocket expedition team,
Saloran
was totes in on the whole thing and was there when Kelvin knocked us out the first time.
So we know that he has several lore keepers at least in his pocket.
Yeah. And then that means if your grandfather's expedition was made up by a lore keeper, contracted by a lore keeper, then maybe we'll be able to find record of that expedition.
It's true.
So Sokoba had been with... Well, hold on, let me just talk as Sokoba. So I'd been with Tasvig for 14 years. So I was the gold mantle that had the longest tenure with him. So it's hard,
Yeah, well, even in the short time that we were with him, it was clear that he was an amazing person.
He really was.
I continue to hold her hand. I squeeze a little harder.
You see a single tear fall from her cheek, and it splashes on your hand.
I rest my head against her forearm.
She lets it happen.
What happens next? I'm just kidding.
Go on.
Word comes up, puts a blanket around.
Okay.
So, you all were trying to get more info out of Ord and Sokoba. Do you want to try and get anything else, or are you still talking about the plan once you hit Lux and head up to the archives? Or do you generally know what you want to do?
I'm going to say that there's probably posters up of us, so we should find some way of disguising ourselves.
That'll probably come in handy.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there anything Saph, is there any kind of an object that you could craft that could disguise either part of our facial features or something like that as an artificer?
Our first step is going to be getting there and trading those gems for money.
Yeah.
And then we can probably make a decision on how to proceed from there, depending on how much money we get for the gems.
Yeah. I definitely want to give a gem to Fira for her troubles.
Yeah. I just want to check in with Saph about this beforehand, because if it's something that takes time or materials to craft, we'll have some time.
Here's 2 spell possibilities that we might want to take advantage of. So we have a 2nd level spell, Alter Self, which is just myself, but Nathan, if you said I crafted something that made me taller, that I could disguise myself as a human, or anything like
a humanoid that was the same size, that's what you can do.
Yeah, if you had some sort of like exosuit that made you a medium size, then I would allow Alter Self to make you a medium sized person.
Perfect. And then I also have Invisibility, which is technically supposed to be 1 person, but if I cast a spell using a spell slot 3rd level or higher, I don't think I have one of those yet. But you can target 1 additional creature for each slot level above 2nd.
Yeah, there's like 6 of us though, so.
Yeah, no, that's not going to work. But maybe I can turn Sokoba invisible. She's like the most recognizable out of all of us, right?
Well, the way that Ord was talking with you and giving you these sending shells,
I don't think they're coming with us.
It doesn't seem like they're going to be tagging along on the adventure. They're going to try and lay low and keep each other safe and healthy.
Are they going to be making landfall with us in Lux, though?
Yeah, they'll be nearby.
But that's why he's giving us... I was wondering why he was giving us the stones. I was thinking about that. Like, I bet they're not going to come with us.
Yeah, that's the kind of gist that you got. And he did not mention having one of these sending shells for Sokoba either.
Which means they'll be together.
Yeah. So one thing that clerics can do, which is neat, is they have access to all of the cleric spell list whenever. They can change their spell list whenever they want. So Drew might have something that can help with your desire to go unnoticed. So I imagine that you all talk about all of this during the course of your voyage.
And sleep.
Yeah, and sleep. You have long rested. You are feeling pretty good. You all are, you just leveled up recently, so you haven't leveled up again, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Whose fault is that?
So this is enough time to put together my thunder cannon pistol combination, right?
Correct. So you've got some downtime if you all want to do some stuff. For those of you who want to make... Is anyone proficient in leatherworking or anything? If you want to make that dragon scale hide armor or anything like that?
No.
I have 2 times proficiency, but I would need a toolkit for it.
Well, someone on the boat surely has a toolkit because they put this boat back together.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to spend some downtime getting proficient with my whip.
Is that what they call it nowadays?
That's such a great euphemism. I'm getting proficient in my whip.
Right? Feels good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's enough time to make your thunder pistols. It's enough time for Aggamir to gain proficiency in the whip, I'll say. Scar, anything that you want to do?
Did my spear, trident thing grow back too?
Oh, yeah, it grows back at the end of every day.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Or no, not at the end of every day. At the end of every combat, it regenerates.
Gotcha.
You can use that skewer ability once per combat.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I was just going to take that dragon stuff and see if someone could make me something. Because I don't have any proficiency in making shit.
You can try picking up another language from one of the crew.
Can I just spend time with the shield things and see what they do with me? Or is it just they just follow me around like Mando did?
I'll allow you to kind of drill with them and see how they move. And so I'll say that during that time, since you've been doing all that drilling, seeing how they've been doing, that you have, quote, proficiency in shield colossi.
Okay.
So they get some sort of benefit in combat.
Dope. Yeah, I like that.
Wow.
We'll work out the details on that later. That isn't very good podcast stuff. But some benefit for the shield colossi following you, the twins.
Yeah, I got 2 of them. That makes me feel so badass. Like, they're just standing behind me, one on either side, and I'm like, what's up? Come at me. Like,
Yeah.
You want to go?
If Scar is able to find someone to craft armor out of the scales or the hide, could I as well?
Yeah. No one on the boat really knows how to craft anything like that. So you'd have to find a spot in town.
Okay.
We're going to Lux. All the fancy people are there. I feel like someone's going to have to know how to do dragon hide stuff.
It's true. And so long as you've got the coin, you have the feeling they're not going to ask many questions.
Another question, just kind of about the world then. So I feel like the citizens of Lux would probably be pretty targeted by thieves in general, or thiefy types.
Thiefy types.
Thiefy types.
Thiefy types, I like that.
I don't know. I know thieves can't. Can I, like, whenever we do make dock, can I, like, keep an eye out for that? I don't know how thieves can't really, like, I've read it a few times in the handbook, but essentially it's where you can hear, or, like, there'll be messages left behind.
That's a really good idea, though, keeping a pulse on the underworld.
Yeah, it's like a secret thief language. Like we go into a bed and breakfast or an inn, and we see like on the door there's like a little scratchy mark. You know that means that this one's going to get robbed tonight. We shouldn't stay here. Like stuff like that.
It's that kind of thing where you have the symbols, but then it's also when you are in conversation with people, they'll drop specific phrases in their speech. And you'll know that they are telling you something that other people wouldn't know.
Okay.
Like you need to get proficient with your whip.
No, but that is a really good idea to like keep your ear to the ground of the underworld to know what like rumblings there are, because we already know that Kelvin's a shady ass bitch. So
It's true.
I will. What is your passive perception is
16.
So I will take that into account while you are going around Lux, that you are actively keeping your ears out and your eyes out for anything thieves can't related with your passive perception.
Sweet. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You what's it called? Saph is from Lux, right?
I'm from, I think we agreed upon this, where Gizmo Burrow is the burrow for artificers, but our estate was on the shore of Gizmo Burrow, overlooking and next to Lux.
Yeah, it's at the confluence, or the meeting place of Gizmo Burrow, Lux, and the Veiled City.
As a copper mantle, would I know like what other burrows copper mantles are like what they're like? Or maybe Ord or Sokoba would know like what the presence of copper mantles is like in Lux. Like, are there like more than there would normally be because it's such a rich place? Or who's the consul of Lux?
The consul of Lux is Samira Ashkani IV.
That's a cool ass name.
She is a noble who lives on the east side of the western part of the borough. So she's just north of Lake Lux is where the Ashkani estate is. It's very close to the Luxon Canal.
So that's what that is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the word estate. I just didn't see the other word.
Yeah, the Ashkani estate.
Oh, so she rich bitch.
Yeah, so Lux is made up of multiple different noble families that each occupy a borough within a borough, if you will. So if you look at the map that is provided on villageidiotpodcast.com, you'll see that in Lux there are a lot of plateaus that butt up against the archives, and the family owns each noble family owns that whole stretch of land.
So who owns where we're going to be landing?
It's one of the minor noble families. You wouldn't know their name off the top of your head unless you were from Lux.
Yeah. So then do they have more like private security, or is there a Copper Mantle presence?
Talking with Ord and Zakoba, you find that the Copper Mantle presence in Lux is more like a hired bodyguard situation, with, the consul being one of the heads of these noble families. She allows the other noble families to pretty much police themselves. And so when it comes to like thieves' presence, it depends on the family whether or not they want to try and root out that thievery or whether they want to kind of indulge in it.
So then are we going to have to be like less on our guard then, because they're not patrolling the streets like as in Fellows, or are they more just protecting like where the families are?
Ord says that so long as you're not actively against the families and you lay low, you should generally be okay, but still be on watch because you never know if the area that you're passing through is one of those corrupt families.
Gotcha.
I don't know about you, Jordan, but I'm getting some real Dantooine vibes from Knights of the Old Republic. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Nerds.
Just wanted to, that was fun.
Did you just say nerds, Em?
On a D&D podcast.
Nerds.
There's a line.
So, was this enough time to craft this is probably going to take a couple of days at least to sail, right? So, was this enough downtime to do the Thunder Cannon pistol combination and an exoskeleton suit-ish kind of thing?
The exoskeleton suit is going to take a pretty long time for you to craft. We're going to use similar rules for that as you would for crafting or creating a golem. I don't know if you've ever looked at what it takes to create a golem, but it's kind of a lot. But it's not going to... So because it'll be powered by you, it's not going to take as much as it would to create a golem. So I will get you those specifics. But no, you would not have enough time to finish it. You could feasibly start it, but I don't know how you would transport it.
Could I do one of those cool things where it's like similar to the Assassin's Creed knife popping out from the forearm, where I just press a button and all of a sudden the exoskeleton just erupts from my body and I just all of a sudden an exoskeleton?
I would say it's more Iron Man.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you'd be carrying some sort of pack that would, when you utter a command word, it pops out and you kind of jump up into the exosuit.
Yeah, certainly like an Iron Man situation, as Emily was saying.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Like you always have an action readied.
It will still take a good amount of time to make, but if you're going to be carrying it on your back, I'll allow it. You're going to be getting a cart here soon, and you've got, the twins that you can strap stuff to, and, they can carry stuff for you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They don't seem to be burdened like a similarly sized creature would. I don't know how you feel about strapping stuff to Ammoferic, but it seems a little disrespectful. I'm not going to tell you what to do, though.
I'll be carrying a backpack. What makes him too good to be carrying a backpack?
Yeah. Oh, that is right. You did scramble up him at the end of last week's episode, and he allowed it. So
any dignity he had is already lost.
If he's not in his big boy body, he has no dignity. Is that what it is, Drew?
Yes.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. So you all do all of this stuff during your trek, and you, after about a 10-day, you finally make landfall on the eastern shore of the archive, or not the archives, of Lux. And it is real fancy looking. So the eastern shore of Lux, if you imagine there are palm trees everywhere, it looks like what you imagine a resort would be like, but it's the whole part of the city. Everything is immaculately kept. You don't see a single piece of rubbish anywhere. No banana peels on the streets like you would see in Fellows. Nothing like that.
Super fancy.
Yeah, all of the shopkeepers that are selling their wares have, if they're not in a storefront, they have very nicely appointed carts that are pulled by very nice horses. There are no mules anywhere. You don't see anyone carrying livestock around or anything like that. There's no people trying to sell chickens out of the back of a cart or anything like that
we
here.
certainly don't fit in. We probably look like shit.
Yeah, getting off at the harbor is a little strange too, because usually you'd you'd hear the seamen shouting at each other about getting the goods on and off, but everyone is very cordial here. Everyone is disciplined, and they're all doing exactly what they need to do, and it's kind of eerily quiet, but it's very hustle and bustle.
So I want to turn to Fira, and I want to give her one of the bigger gems, the bigger gem that I have. And I want to say, I know that we put you through a lot these last, been like a week?
It's been around 20 days at this point. 2 10 days.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, you set out from the Grand Harbor of Fellows, and it was 2 days later that you were shipwrecked. And then you were on the Bulwark Isles for 3 days, and then it was another 10 day.
Yeah, so I kind of just want to be like, I know we've all been through a lot, and, if we hadn't have asked you to take us, that you probably wouldn't have gotten into that whole mess. So, for your troubles.
Wow, that's real nice of you, Scar. If you ever need a ship, y'all are always welcome.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got more of these. And she looks it up, holds it up to the sun.
Well, any friend of Aggamir's is a friend of mine.
The bonefly will always be there for you.
We appreciate it, Fira. And Aggamir goes up and I'm going to hug her and pick her up.
Mm-hmm.
And then put her back down.
Scary.
Aggamir, I hate that, but I'm going to miss you. It was good to see you.
Good to miss you too. Take care of yourself and the crew. I know you will.
Yeah, you too. Oh, hey, if you ever make your way up to the harbor coast, I hear that the Amethyst Wishes hit some hard times. Might be for sale.
Whoa.
Well, now.
Just in case you were wondering, you seem so at home on the bonefly, and I figured that you should be one of the first to know.
Huh.
I've been keeping it kind of quiet, but
well, I had no idea.
Yeah, she kind of gets she stands on a crate and gets up close to your ear and says, "Yeah, I heard it was impounded, actually." So old Cap wasn't doing so hot.
No kidding.
Got themselves in some hot water, and the Amethyst Wish, it's a good ship.
Yeah. No, I had so many memories. I'm never gonna forget that ship. It was my first ship.
I was going to explode.
I mean, honestly,
don't leave for the harbor coast immediately.
Guys,
he's about to blow a load now.
You guys even need me here?
I'm good.
He's like, I'm running to the harbor coast right now.
Let's go to the bank, guys.
Can we put it on? He's like, lock that down for me, Fira, if you can. Put it on layaway. I'm good for it.
You know what, Aggie? I'll do my best. And she pats your shoulder as she hops down off the crate.
Put it on layaway.
All right.
And so she heads onto the bonefly, gives you all a wave. You see Yan up in the crow's nest. He goes, Hey, bye. It was fun.
I was about to be like, yo, my boy Yan.
It was fun traveling with all of you. I hope you have a good time. Bye.
Me and my boy Yan, we had some good times keeping watch with each other.
Bye.
Jeff the dwarf is there, and he says, I'll never forget you.
You can keep the axe.
It was his already, so of course he can.
He says thanks anyway.
Good times with that axe.
Yeah.
I miss that crew.
Yeah, they were good people. The bonefly sails off to the east, and then you see it turn north, and it's heading up to the Mithril Peninsula. It's a wonderful bone and wood hull catching the light in such a way that makes it look like it's, I don't know.
Super majestic.
Super majestic, yeah. I was going to say on fire, and then I was like, that's a little rough.
Good Lord. Gleaming?
Gleaming.
Yeah, it's gleaming. Yeah, it's gleaming. It's like reflecting all the light, and
It's on fire, but not bad.
Glistening?
Yeah, glistening, yeah.
Glistening.
Gleaming, It's very nice. It's a very picturesque moment, and it fades from view, and you all are now in Eastern Lux.
Fancy town.
The fancy town.
Let's go, Rob, not Rob. I was not going to say Rob.
Did Ord and Sokoba stay with them?
No, they got off with you. Sorry, I should mention that. Ord and Sokoba are with you.
Do we know where they're going to go?
Well, I hadn't really thought of where we were going to go. I guess we'll have to...
I was going to ask if they could stay with Fira, at least for a while. I forgot to.
Oh, well, that ship has sailed.
You're so funny.
You're welcome.
I feel like, because I got like 14 gems. I'm going to give them each a gem so that they can have some money, I feel like.
Use your allowance.
Yeah.
Thank you for saving my life.
I think rent is a little more expensive here.
Nah, but I mean, like, at least they'll have money to travel somewhere. Because I know Ord's got all those safe houses set up in places and things like that, down in Fellows. Maybe he knows of some other places, but he needs money to travel or, like, get some clothes for them to keep incognito. Like, I want to make sure he's okay.
Speaking of clothes, I would like to look around and see what everyone's wearing compared to us.
Yeah.
They are... The clothing that they're wearing is much nicer than what you all are wearing. You all stick out like a sore thumb.
A shopping episode.
We're not going to do a shopping episode. I'll just say that you all get... What? You want
montage.
To? Yeah, we're going to montage it.
Yeah, like an Amanda Bynes movie from the 2000s.
Yes. Like that whole scene where she goes to the little outside flea market thing with her dad and
she goes behind a curtain to tie something around her waist. Yeah, it's very weird. Let's do that.
I feel like I don't really want to get fancy dress, but just dressed to the fact where that you can't really tell what I look like without taking my hood off or something.
Yeah. So when I say that you all are like, you look way worse than the people around, like the people around aren't dressed fancy. You all had been shipwrecked on an island for a while, and you'd been out on open water for the better part of 10 days, and you look a little rough.
Yeah, we also got electrocuted by a dragon.
Yeah, you've all got some stubble going on, and there's rips in your clothes.
I have some stubble going on.
I was going to let it go. I wasn't going to say anything.
No, you've all got stubble going on. You've got,
I mean, I could probably braid my pit hair. I'm okay with that.
Nice.
Yeah, you all find a place to get clothes. You find a place to sell your gems.
Do we?
So, yeah, there's one of the shop fronts is actually a jeweler. And they have a great many gemstones. Some are even larger than the ones that you have, of all sorts of colors. One of them catches Saph's eye.
Oh!
Because it's not a deep blue, but it is blue.
I'm listening.
It's very nice looking.
Does it gleam?
It gleams and glistens, not unlike the bonefly as it sailed off into the distance. So it is about half of the size of the red gems that you all have. and it has been masterfully cut.
Okay.
Square cut, princess cut, like
Shaped like the heart of the ocean.
No, it is not the heart of the ocean. It's not the heart of Tafiti either, because it's not green.
Tafiti.
Okay. So how much did you say that these gems, these original gems that we got, were worth each?
They're each worth 100 gold.
Okay.
So I got 1,200 gold now?
If you sell all of them.
Fuck yeah.
I sell all my gems. 1,200 as well.
Yeah.
800.
Same, but I only have 600. Damn you larger people.
It's not larger people, it's that I rolled a higher number than you.
I can only carry so much. I'm a halfling.
And I took the gems from that room that we got trapped in, because,
All right. I go up to the shopkeep. I ponder at I'm assuming it's just the sapphire. No, like, crazy name or anything, right?
It's not a sapphire. It's not deep enough to be a sapphire.
So what's the name of this gem? Is it the color of my eyes, like a lightish mid-blue?
Yes, it is. It's very similar to the color of your eyes.
Oh my god.
I've been saying all along that your eyes are like two beautiful gems.
I look up at Scar.
I'm saying that in real life.
Okay.
The shopkeep says, "So you like what you see here, huh? This one is one of our finest tourmalines."
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline. It comes from high in the mountains of the Anvil. You see, on the Mithril Peninsula, it takes our craftsmen days to cut these gems in such a way that they sparkle like this. She holds them up to the light, and you see it shines and sparkles even more once it's up in the light.
Multifaceted.
It's multifaceted. It's almost blinding.
Pretty.
The precious.
So you like this, huh? This is one of our smaller ones, but I'll sell it to you for a fair price.
It's all right. What would you consider a fair price, though?
Oh, well, nothing less than 1,000 gold pieces.
I say, hold on 1 second. I walk up to Aggamir. Hey, Aggamir, you remember when you said you might be able to help the girl out?
What? No.
That you owed me something blue for that Idrinden thing?
You're such a dick.
Just in case I can't get him down from 1,000.
I do remember, Saph. I never forget a promise. Stares into the sun. No, I'm just kidding. But is this really the blue that you want? Does this really compare to what was lost? Slow and steady wins the race.
Roll a
Patience is a
persuasion.
virtue.
You know, I'm just gonna let this play out without any rolls because it's fun and y'all are talking in character and I love it.
You're like the little girl in Despicable Me. It's so fluffy, I'm gonna die.
Is this gem big enough or small enough to make a necklace out of it for a halfling, feasibly?
It would be a fairly large necklace, but yeah, you could do that. Yeah, these are what they look like.
Oh, that's like aquamarine. That's really pretty.
Oh my god. So for the listeners, Nate just pulled up pictures of Tourmaline Gems, which I suggest you do too, because they are absolutely fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, do a Google image search for light blue tourmaline, and you'll see what we're looking at.
Damn, Justin, if your eyes really did look like that, I'd never stop staring at you.
Have you seen someone whose eyes look like that? It's creepy.
Yeah.
They look almost milky and it's weird.
Justin's eyes are more of a blue-gray.
Yeah, they change color though, depending on what I'm wearing.
Yeah, it's fair. I like the darker blue eyes, not the super, super light blue where it's like almost white. It's creepy.
You're in luck because I have brown eyes.
Yeah,
Same.
that's why I married you on purpose. I was like, no creepy eyes, done.
Justin, don't do this to Aggamir. He literally just got some money. Like,
If you can talk her down and you still need some help to cover it, maybe.
don't spend your 600 gold on
Don't
stupid
forget,
shit.
we also have hero points that we can exchange for gold. Do you
That
have
is
any hero
true.
points?
You have as many hero points as you had when you were fighting the dragon. You have not gained any more quite yet.
But we have leveled up, right?
You have leveled up, so your pool is larger. So you didn't gain 2 when you leveled up, so you've still got 4 or 3, whatever you
Yeah.
I have 5. I was at max.
I have 5 too.
I have 3.
Yes, I have. I used some of my hero points, so I currently have 3. So that's 200 gold per hero point, if I recall correct.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You can do that. Yeah, that is true.
Don't do it,
You can
Justin.
exchange it for gold.
Stop it.
I'm having an inner crisis right now.
It's 100 gold per hero point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aggamir!
So for those of you who may not remember, I set up a homebrew rule similar to inspiration, but it applies more to actions rather than RPing as your character, I guess. It's kind of a weird distinction, but so anyway, you have as many hero points as you have levels, and you can use the points to boost your rolls +2 per point. You can use it after you roll, but before you know if you've succeeded or failed. And also, 1 hero point converts to 100 gold. And the only way to get more hero points is to do cool shit. And they don't restore after a long rest.
I'm going to walk over to Saph and I'm going to put my hand on her because I feel like I've now become Saph's conscience voice. Like I'm trying to protect her from herself. And I'm just going to be like, girl, you just got your hands on some money. We need we need to be responsible. I need you to stop looking at the shiny things. We've got more important things to buy.
I look at Scar and I look back at the gem with the guy and I look back at Scar and I'm like, let me see what I could do. Thanks, Mom, though. And then I walk back up to the guy.
It's a lady, but okay.
I walk back up to the lady. Sorry.
Okay. So what do you think? You got the coin?
I'm pondering, so I'm stroking my chin, and I'm like, it's a bit small for 1,000.
I assure you that this is a fine price for a gem of this size. Believe me, I've been doing this a long time, child.
How long's a long time?
You know elves live a long time, correct?
Yeah, but I don't know. Is this a recent hobby or profession, or did you,
A hobby? My good lady, I am no hobbyist. I am one of the greatest gem cutters in all of Lux. And you have the audacity to call me a hobbyist? You know what? You're right. This one is not 1,000 gold. I mispriced it. This is 1,200 gold pieces.
I look at her and oh man. Out of character. She's pissing me off. Alright, so I look at her and I go, do you think this is the first time I've ever bought gems? I know this is not worth 1,000.
You're right, it's worth 1,200.
I'm about to get real pissed and just pick Saph up and walk her ass outside.
You can try and roll a persuasion or a performance to try and talk her down off this ledge that you've pushed her up towards.
No, I'm just gonna grab her ass and just take her outside.
Oh, I was talking to Saph about trying to talk down the jeweler.
Yeah, backstory-wise, you don't want to get between her and something blue and shiny. So, can I roll a persuasion then, instead?
Yeah, you can do that.
And I would like to say 1,200's a bit steep. How about 800?
Well, maybe I was a little unfair to you. It's been a long day, and I haven't had lunch yet. So I was a little hangry, I guess. So, I tell you what.
I pull out a Snickers.
I'll do 800 if you have anything else to trade. Do you have anything curious that might be interesting? Anything that you may have found in your... And she looks you up and down in your tattered clothes, and she says, travels.
So I put my bag down on the ground, and I pull an energy stone out just perfectly enough so that she can see it's glowing in my hands, like radiantly.
They don't glow when they're not inside a shield colossi.
What?
They're just perfectly smooth. What did I say? They were coconut-sized stones? Perfectly smooth, with a very tight grained structure.
Would you like these very round balls?
Yeah, no, that's less interesting than I thought it was going to be.
You don't know until you show her.
Yeah, show her your balls.
They're
There it
smooth
is.
and round.
I pull out 2 of them, and I go up to her, and I'm like, these are very special to me.
So you have
These,
so you have an energy stone?
Oh my god, she knows what it is.
so you know what these are.
Where did you find this?
In our travels.
Oh, would you be willing to part with them? How many do you have?
Just the 2 on me. And these are the ones I'd be willing to part with. But, these are very special to me. So,
If this is truly an energy stone, I would give you this gem for both of those stones.
Sounds like a good deal.
These don't come up very often. These are highly sought after in the stone cutting and gemology, parts of the world.
Much like in real life, my husband is really bad at haggling.
yeah, I'm seriously awful at haggling.
Hey, this is practice at haggling.
We stumbled into it.
Okay. So I could part with these 2 for the gem and a nice necklace piece so that I could make this into a nice necklace.
You know what? You've got yourself a deal. I just need to run a test on these to make sure that they are what you say. And absolutely, the gem and the chain are yours. She goes and gets what looks like it looks like a hot plate, basically, but it's not a hot plate. It's brass, and it's shaped in roughly the size of a small dinner plate. All around it are various gems around the outside, and in the middle of it, there's a recess, a bowl, if you will. And you can see various runes along the inside and outside of it. And she places one of the energy stones in it, and you see that it immediately lights up as if it was put into a shield colossi. And she does that to both of the stones. And she says, remarkable. These are in fine working order. Usually they've got a crack or they're broken and they can't hold on to the energy, but these are in pristine condition. So, we have ourselves a deal, and she holds out her hand.
I say, give me 1 second. May I see that plate that you had put it on real quick?
Sure. Why do you need to see this?
Just really curious as to what this says.
It's an energy transference plate.
Surely you wouldn't mind if I just take a look at and read it real quick?
You can try. I mean, no one knows what these runes say anymore.
Is Drew anywhere near me?
Emily's like, ooh.
I can read.
I do.
Okay. So may I see that real quick?
Yeah, just leave it on the counter here, and you can, take any look that you need to.
Okay. I walk over to Drew, and I whisper to her, "Can you read these real quick?"
I whisper back, I can read anything.
On the inside, the runes say in Old Common, place energy stone here. And along the outside, it says, if your energy stone does not turn on, try another stone.
God.
Always reading so much into things, Justin. I love it.
All right, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't something evil. All right.
Cool.
Thanks, Drew. And I walk back to her and I go, I think we have a deal.
Excellent.
So for the gem and the necklace, 2 energy stones, and I hold out my hand.
She shakes it and pulls the energy transference plate back and takes the energy stones. And yeah, she goes into a back room and comes back out to sell her wares to the other people along the street and leaves you to your own devices.
Okay, bye.
All right, I just ruined the entire economy of Lux. So let's get going.
So now that we did that, let's go.
We need some good clothes, like ones that don't look like we've been homeless for a year.
Mhm.
And I need a hella good cloak to like hide my big old horns and
Yeah.
my big red face.
Yeah. You all find appropriate traveling gear for yourselves that's in good, well-kept condition. It only sets you back about 20 gold. For Saph, it sets her back 15 because they have to use less material for halflings.
Okay, so.
I slick my hair back.
Oh my god.
You look great. You don't look like yourself. That's all you need to do.
Aggamir's going through a phase.
Sweet.
Can we find someone that knows how to leather work?
Yes. However, Aggamir sees something.
Thieves can. What do you see?
What do your thieves' eyes see?
You notice that on one of the posts of a pub nearby, there is the Thieves' Cant symbol scratched into the frame for help. The symbol that says that someone inside will help you.
Okay.
Interesting. Well, we need a place to sleep, so we might as well go here. But I want to find out the dragon place.
Okay. It's the post it's the post for the inn. Okay.
Yes, it is called the Lonely Elephants Pub.
The Lonely Elephants. Okay. I turn to the rest of the group and I'm like, hey everyone, I think we should stay here for the night. I've got a feeling about it.
I've never trusted your instincts before, but let's give it a shot.
I hope they have good drinks. I'm feeling great right now.
So we know about it, but then can we find a place for this dragon hide and then come back?
So it seems like anywhere you go here in Lux is just filled with shops and little boutiques and all of these types of shops. So you've got your pick of leather workers. You find one that specializes in dragon hide and dragon scale.
Yeah, I want dragon hide armor.
A fighter like you, dragon hide, huh? Not dragon. You don't want the dragon plate?
Sure, dragon plate. Do that.
Well, okay. It'll be a pretty penny, but I can make it for you.
What's a pretty penny?
Well, let me tell you. Let me just bring out my book here, and he goes back and into a back room. A lot of back rooms here in Lux. They're very private, and then comes back out and has a big leather-bound book, slams it down on the table in front of you. Okay, let me see here. So, would you like just the dragon plate for a breastplate or half plate? Do you want full plate? What are we talking here? What would you like?
How much is the full plate?
Oh, the full plate. Very good. You have just enough here for the full plate. Oh, and we've got a deal here with the full plate. So if you purchase and have me craft you full plate armor, I'll throw in a shield for free. It'll only set you back 1,500 gold.
1,000.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
What? Are you trying to intimidate him?
Yes.
All right, roll me an intimidation, please.
Please don't. I would like something too.
Does she get some kind of a discount for providing the material? Since it doesn't have to come out of his stuff?
Are you asking him?
I'm asking Nicole out of character. I don't know.
I don't know. That's why I'm haggling.
Intimidating isn't haggling.
It's a form of haggling.
It's the kind of haggling that he wouldn't do anything else for anybody.
That's fair,
19.
but Nathan did say there were a bunch of other shops.
That's a 19.
You know what? For you, I can certainly do 1,000 since you have been so kind as to bring me all of the material. Yes, 1,000 it is.
Shake on it.
He holds out his hand and you shake hands. He takes your measurements and writes you a receipt with his signature on it, and he asks you to sign it as well.
How long does it take?
Well, you see, it will take some time, at least a few days. I am quite skilled and swift. They don't call me Nurse Swift Fingers for nothing.
I'm going to roll another intimidation and say tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Okay.
This poor guy.
Natural 20.
God.
Anything for you. You have been such a kind patron. You know, it really isn't very often that I see dragon scale of this caliber, and I just am going to drop off my work, and I'm going to get this done for you tomorrow. By midday. I'm going to start right now. Please leave, and I will get this started on this.
Well, you guys wanted something too, right?
Yes.
I can't work on anything else. This is all I'm doing.
We'll go to
I'm
another
taking
shop.
no commissions at this time.
Do I have to go to another shop then?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. Damn it.
If you don't want to haggle, I'll just tell you what y'all have to do.
Yeah. Just tell us, how much we owe for what we have. I'm good.
What does everyone want?
I just want better armor. I think I currently have on it says chain shirt. I feel like that's not right.
So your chain shirt is 13 plus your dex modifier max 2. The best, quote unquote, best armor you can get would be half plate, which would be 15 plus your dex modifier max 2.
Okay.
But you would have disadvantage on stealth rolls.
Hate that.
Okay. The highest without disadvantage would be a breastplate, which would be 14 plus your dex modifier max 2.
Okay. Cool.
If you want to get the breastplate, that'll set you back 400 gold.
Yes. That's what I want to do.
What's
Okay.
my, what do you call it? With the shield and the full plate, what is my modifier going to be?
The full plate is going to give you disadvantage, but any heavy armor is going to give you disadvantage.
Yeah.
Your AC would be... The full plate made from the dragon scale is going to be +1 armor, so your AC will be 18 plus 1, so 19, and then your shield will give you +2.
So my AC is now 21 with that?
Yes.
God damn. And what's my disadvantage? Stealth?
Yeah, stealth disadvantage,
Whatever.
which you already have. So yeah, and Aggamir, you wanted some armor made?
I would. I'd like the equivalent of studded leather.
Okay, so 12 plus your dex.
And then would it be +1 armor because it's dragon?
Yep, the dragon hide armor would be +1.
Cool.
So, and that'll set you back a whopping 45 gold.
Yeah. That sounds good to me.
Saph, anything?
Yes. I would like a pauldron, please. I'm going to make it difficult for you.
Okay. What are you trying to get with this pauldron? What is your current armor situation?
Okay, well, I currently have studded leather, so what's that, 12 plus dex,
Mm-hmm.
right? So 16
Are you just trying to buy a pauldron, or are you trying to have one made?
from the dragon scale that I have, the little dragon
Okay.
scale that I have.
I'm going to homebrew this real quick. If this breaks the game, don't blame me. I'm going to make an extra thing here called extras. And it is going to be a pauldron. It'll give you a +1 AC. However, because it is going to be made from that dragon hide, it'll be 1 + 1. So +2. It's basically like having a shield.
Nice.
You can only wear a pauldron if you are not using a shield and you are not wearing any plate. So no breastplates, half plates, full plates, anything like that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I could wear it with my studded leather, right?
Yeah.
So that's +1 to the pauldron, but you said something about a shield?
So the pauldron itself is just a +1. Anyone can buy a pauldron and get +1 to their armor class. but you can't wear a pauldron and a shield.
Okay.
So it'll just give you that +1. So it's actually, because you're making it out of that dragon hide, you're getting an additional +1 because it's made out of that magical material. So you get +2, so it's technically like a shield. And Aggamir isn't wearing a shield or anything like that. So if you'd like, you could also get a pauldron.
I would also like a pauldron.
Cool.
Yeah, so
So 10?
Yeah, it's going to be similar to a shield, so 10 gold. Anyone else want to get anything while we're here?
I just want to make sure Drew has like a cloak and something to like put over her head.
Yeah, that's included
Okay.
with the cost of all the clothes that you got.
Okay, then that's it.
Yeah. So you all look super fresh, super fly. These are the fanciest clothes that a lot of you have ever seen. Maybe not Saph, but or at least the fanciest clothes you've ever worn.
For sure, the fanciest clothes Drew's ever worn.
Yeah. And so the leather stuff isn't going to take nearly as much time. The full plate is, the thing that would take the longest, and it'll be done by midday tomorrow. Everyone else's stuff will be done by tomorrow as well for the leather and the pauldrons. Drew, you have your new breastplate because you just bought it off the rack. So, you all are now newly equipped, or on your way to be newly equipped. Where are you all heading now? Back to the pub?
Yeah, I feel like we could head back to the pub. Kind of home base.
Sure.
All right.
Pauldron pals. High five.
Do we have any of this armor yet, or is it still being crafted?
No, it's still being crafted. But you can still high five because you're going to have
Saph just says that on the way out.
We will high five this. We will
High five. Very nice.
Yes. Perfect. So you head into the pub. You're greeted by a very jovial bartender, and it's a human. And they are dressed in their finest finery, and they welcome you inside and say, hello, welcome to the Lonely Elephant's Pub, the finest pub this side of Lux. How may I assist you today?
I'd like some ale.
I was just going to say, a flagon of your finest ale.
Perfect. Ales all around. Should I start a tab for you all? Will you be needing to stay the night? How can I help you? I am your humble servant.
Oh, man.
Oh, I love this guy. What's this guy's name? What's your name, friend?
My name? Why ever do you ask? You would like to make friends with me, I'm sure. My name is Telon. Telon the Humble. And he winks at all of you.
So he winks 4 times, or he winks generally at all 4
He
of us?
winks generally in your direction.
Okay, good. That's better. It's less weird.
I could just see him, winking down a line.
Yeah.
He has a very smooth air about him. Like if he wasn't a bartender, he would definitely be a bard. Maybe he's a bard tender. Yeah.
What is he?
He is a human.
Well, Telon, yes, we will need a room for the night.
Perfect. Would you like a room for each of you, or one for the lot of you?
I don't know. How close did we get after our castaway adventure?
I mean, we've shared a room plenty of all the other times, so we're good.
Yeah, we can snuggle.
How many beds are in a room sometimes?
Oh, we can fit as many beds as you'd like, little lady.
One very large bed.
Cuddle party.
Cuddle
Yes.
party.
Yeah, like a big dog bed, basically.
We do have the intimate suite available.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Does it have a heart-shaped bathtub?
No heart-shaped bathtub, but we do have about half of the room is bed. It's one very large construction that we had made just for those yearning for a spooning.
Does it say that like a needle print on the wall, yearning for a spooning?
No, he
Yearning for
says
a
that.
spooning.
He says that aloud. I tried to have it called the spooning room, but my associate just wouldn't have it.
Rude.
I'm yearning for a spooning.
Half the room is a bed, plenty of room.
Sounds
We're
great.
good.
We can spread out.
Ugh.
I mean,
Excellent.
I mean,
I'll put it on your tab.
we have a reputation at this hotel now.
Tillin goes into the back room of this tavern, the third back room that you've seen today. And he comes back with the ale that you all asked for in very ornate clay mugs. They're ornately glazed. They are beautiful. Better than all of the tankards that you've seen in all the other taverns you've been in.
Can I, survey the room?
Yes, please do.
So, 17.
Okay. You survey the room. It is well packed with patrons. It seems like people really like Telon a lot, and they like to be flattered when they are here. You see people of all races and walks of life, if that's something that you can say here in Lux. No one doesn't look wealthy. Everyone looks as though they have a good bit of coin in their purse, and they are drinking well and are making merry and eating and sitting by the fire, and everyone is kind of communal here. It's a very homey vibe that you're getting. You see in the corner that Ord and Sokoba are sitting there under hooded cloaks. They apparently have also found their way into this particular pub.
I'd like to ask the bartender, how much is the spoon room a night?
Oh, the spoon room? You mean the intimate suite? Of course. Yes, it is. It is merely 20 gold a night.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'd like to ask Telon. I'd like to just kind of make small talk with him, but I'd like to sneak in a message in Thieves' Cant if I can. And I guess that message would be, is this a place of help, or can...
You want to drop the hint that you are searching help from the thieves.
Yes.
Oh, well, my good sir. Yes, absolutely. Let me take you right this way. He leads you to under the stairs, and he knocks on the stairs in a pattern, and you hear knocking from under the stairs back in a pattern. And you hear a lock being undone.
Did we follow you?
I don't know, did you?
I feel like I would have.
I don't know.
That's okay.
Were you knocking? Did you walk away in front of us? Because then probably.
Yeah, I followed Telon, and so anyone that felt like following, I think he's welcome. We were clearly a group together, so would Telon have had objection?
Clearly, we're sharing a bed.
Yeah.
A big-ass bed.
You all see that a panel of the stairs opens up. You've got to crouch to get through, not Saph, but the rest of you would have to crouch to get through it. And you see that there is a flicker of candlelight coming from under the stairs. And you see a small scaly hand come out and says, "Come inside."
All right. I crouch down and head on in.
Random question. Where are the shield colossi right now?
They are standing outside. Remember that they need to have if they can't get into a place, they need a line of sight on you. So they're looking at you through the windows. Very creepy.
Okay, just making sure.
So it might be best if Scar doesn't go in.
Yeah, probably. All right, I'll stay up here just to make sure y'all are okay.
Okay.
Fill me in later.
Okay.
So you hear someone say, "Come inside."
We go inside. I go inside. I implicitly trust the lizard folk.
Is it a kobold or a lizard folk?
I don't care. It has scaly hand. I trust it.
It is a kobold, you see. It is a burnt orange colored kobold. It looks to be getting on in years, which for a kobold is 30. And he sits you down. You see now that it looks like there's a sunken level underneath the tavern that kind of opens up, and you can see that there's a secondary floor that's underneath the main floor. It's not exactly a basement. It feels like a crawl space, but it also feels a little seedy, which is weird because it's the first time you felt that in Lux. The kobold says to you, "The name's Va. What do you need help with?"
I couldn't help but notice the symbol outside, and in all honesty, I want to know, have you heard of any news of fugitives out of Fellows?
Yes, the new consul, he spits, of fellows has been looking for some fugitives.
How far is that word spread?
How far does Alari go?
Fair enough.
Shit.
Well,
If you've come looking for help, you've come to the right place. We're one of the headquarters for the Knights of Halartha.
Oh my god, it's the Resistance. We found the Resistance.
we found the resistance, guys.
And that's where we're going to end.
Wait, he just said Knights of Halartha.
Halartha.
That's
yes.
important.
That is very important.
We
All of
found
that
the
is
We're
so
resistance.
looking for her
important.
writings.
We found the resistance.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yep. That's where we're going to end. We had a nice little shopping episode and setting up the next part.
Dope.
I hope you all enjoyed this little bit slower paced episode, and I hope that you're excited for the next one. I hope my players had a good time playing, and I sure had a good time DMing. I hope Justin has a good time editing.
Yeah, I'm going to take like 20 minutes out of our entire exchange. Thanks.
Yeah, there's just between you and me as the jeweler and Saph.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because the village idiot this week is Saph for insisting on haggling with a jeweler for a gem that she doesn't exactly need, maybe. But you know what?
She feels better on the inside. That's what matters.
You feel better on the inside.
Retail therapy.
You know what? I'm actually going to revise my statement. You're still the village idiot, but not for that reason. The reason is that you didn't try and see what any of the properties of this gem are. So we'll get to that next episode.
What?
Okay.
Why would a gem be so expensive? So anyway,
Because it's pretty.
thank you all. Sure. Thank you all so much for listening.
I need a moment where Saph is holding her gem and I come over to it and she's like, it's so pretty. And I'm like, this is magic as hell. She's like, well, it's not. It's just pretty. And I'm like, no, this is so much. Baby doll, this has so much magic.
I look up at Scar and I go, see, it was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in next time for that to happen.
Again, thank you all so much for listening. If you want to reach out to us on social media, you can do so where, Nicole? Where does that happen?
Yeah, we got a Twitter, guys. You can go to Twitter and search at Village Idiot Pod to talk to us on there. Cool stuff up there. If you want to talk to me, Nicole, personally, you can find me at Nicole the Nerdy.
You can find me at JRoma20.
I'm at Neurotic Good.
I am at Village Idiots DM.
And I am too busy reconnecting with my roguish roots, hanging out in seedy taverns.
Seedy basement taverns.
Finding the resistance.
Finding the resistance. We also have a website, villageidiotspodcast.com. You can find the map that we were referring to a lot on there, as well as other artwork and the Village Idiots tally. And bringing back Aggamir's gold count for the ship. Coming in like 1,200 strong.
Yay.
Yeah, I've got money again. And it seems like it might be on sale.
Yeah, there you go. His dreams of owning his own boat are coming closer and closer.
Hey, yo. Thanks for sticking around for this epic piece of bonus content we put together for you. We felt like, with where we are in the story, that now is the perfect time. So, I've got a question for you. Have you ever wondered what events might have transpired before Season 1? Maybe even very kind of specifically 10 years before Season 1? Well, maybe you're in luck, because we might have kind of sort of already done a prequel campaign entitled
Into Depths and Darkness.
Welcome to the Village Idiots podcast. I am your DM, Nathan. We have a group of adventurers. That crew consists of Leandria, the elf cleric.
So someone was trying to get by the beast. So this is the harp in front of Fluffy, the three-headed dog guarding the Sorcerer's Stone.
Ulfgar, the clanless, a dwarven monk.
It could be a long hole.
What?
I didn't understand what he said.
No, speak up.
Long hole. I think that's what he said.
Kira, a dragonborn fighter.
I'm pretty sure like we can go with like Pokemon battle logic where like we're gonna be fighting rock monsters and electric don't do good against rock. Yeah.
That's sound logic. And Dr. Milo Thornburn, a halfling artificer.
Tavern, bro.
Oh, you said tavern.
Taverns
Tavern inn.
are inns.
Tavern in and in.
Yes, tavern in an inn.
Do you have any locals or regulars that come in here that would be interested in joining an adventure?
Well, I do think there was someone who came through looking for some work. You recognize him by his copper mantle. Kelvin Boulderdown.
Wasn't that weird? What could have transpired? Take a trip over to patreon.com/villageidiotpod, where we've got all the episodes up and ready for you. Speaking of Patreon...
Want to hear more from your favorite idiots? Well, you're in luck because we have a Patreon. For just a couple bucks a month, you'll have exclusive access to DM Insights with Nathan and Behind the Screens, listen to Nicole and I BS and What's What with Dilly and Dally, and even a mini prequel campaign set in the world of Lanamora.
If a subscription to our Patreon is too much of a commitment for you, we'd love if you could leave us a quick review on iTunes. If you enjoy the show, tell your friends about us. New episodes come out every Tuesday, so stay tuned.
Yes, please stay tuned. And don't forget, new year, new review, new shirt. It's 2020, y'all. Get those...
Get those reviews. Tell us how good we are.
Get those shirts. Get those reviews. No, don't tell us how good we are. Tell us your favorite moment. Tell us what you liked about it,
Tell us what makes you laugh.
Yeah, tell us what makes you laugh. Tell other people what is going to make them laugh. Make them laugh by talking about what makes you laugh from what we did to make you laugh.
When does the awkward bye part start? Because it feels like it started already.
No, not yet. You'll know. Don't forget to tune in next week when we find out what the Knights of Halartha are all about and how they are the same thing that they just saw in the Bulwark Isles. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, bye.
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 Bye.